T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Let's get ready to suck it!
Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. Pockets running over with the dollar signs. Try to take it from me. Big time. I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of prime. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, from me, from me, from me, from me. Big time, number 9. Got it in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to a Monday edition of the Ysn Power Hour. DJ Yoakley here. We have the coach and Quinn. I think Quinn's somewhere in behind that the hood, and then we got Rob and Paul Munson, who might be the happiest of all of us after the weekend that he had. Gentlemen, other than Paul, how was your weekend?
Okay. We're going to go okay.
We're going to go okay. All right, Quinn?
Yeah, it was all right.
We are off to a humming start here on the Power Hour. Rob?
It was actually pretty cool. We rode up to Conneaut yesterday. We got there around 12 and got home around 10, so a lot of fun.
Did I see you were on the bike?
Yeah.
Atta boy. How many miles did you put in this weekend?
I don't know. I want to say about maybe 200.
Wow.
Something like
I'm
that.
terrified of motorcycles. Like being on one I would crash it in 3 seconds. Not even. And then I'd probably be dead because I wouldn't be able to get it off of me either. So I applaud you, my friend. I applaud you. I would just sit there and die of hunger. Paul, you had a very intriguing weekend. Sports-wise, you did very well. Your teams did very well, minus the one that you coincidentally are wearing right now for some reason.
Yeah, I know. Well, it matches the outfit today because it fades into a gray, and I got like some nice gray slacks on, so it matched. And my wife asked me this morning. She goes, "You don't have like a Raiders one?" I'm like, "No, they're T-shirts. I only have T-shirts." So yeah, it was a good weekend for the Raiders all around, whether it be the high school Raiders or the professional Raiders, because listen, I don't get to do it that often because they don't play as regular as like a conference team in their bracket. So yeah, nobody. I haven't heard anything from any Steelers fans. They've all been so quiet because they got nothing to say. So
hey man, listen. Go ahead. Anytime you can beat our second string defense, I feel good for you.
There it is. I knew it. I was waiting. You're the first one to say it. My one buddy is like, "Listen, hey, you guys beat us. Good job." I was like, okay. My dad even said, "Listen, we weren't playing very well, but you guys played well and you won the game." I was waiting to hear somebody make up an excuse for something that was second string this or
Hey, I said yesterday, congrats.
TJ Watt that, whatever.
Listen, we had 3 guys down with a groin injury. So whoever the groin coach is on the Steelers, out, gone. See you later.
See, but the injury thing doesn't hold weight this week, does it?
Why not?
Because Baltimore won last night, and they've got more teams than anybody in the world on injured reserve right now.
Yeah, but number 8's not injured, and that's all that matters.
They got like 16 guys on the IR.
They're just outscoring people. They don't even know what defense is.
Oh, no. Baltimore has no idea what defense is. They don't play that.
Clueless. They just go, hey, 8, run the ball or hand the ball off. That's it. What they had some absurd amount of rushing yards last night.
Oh, yeah, something stupid. And where you really saw the lack of defense was the little underneath pass to Travis Kelce. It's like that should have gone for a 4-yard gain, and it became a 47-yard touchdown.
That was awesome.
It was a touchdown. Kansas City's hard to stop.
You're one fumble away from KC winning that game. I mean,
yes.
I couldn't believe when I was watching it. And he not even just the way he popped it out. If you look at the angle, like usually that's just a come around strip. He turned his body and poked it. Like it couldn't have been more perfect.
Yeah, right at the bottom of the tip of the ball, just plop, and that dropped out. And I was like, oh boy! And then he recovers it himself too, which was impressive. Yeah. So
Steelers game was anything that went wrong or could have gone wrong went wrong. It was just okay. Our guy spit second, so he gets ejected. Awesome. All right, see ya. Bye. So we couldn't run the ball. So Ben felt like he had to put it on his shoulders, and that's not a good situation because the Raiders knew what was coming from then on out. So congratulations.
The spitting thing, like, what are we? Are we 7 now?
Listen,
it's not even about 7. Like, how stupid can you be? I mean, You're literally looking at 2 refs, and you say, you know what? I'm just, forget it. Poof. I'm like, what are you thinking?
He came back, did he not? He came back and spit on him after he got spit on the first time. I'm like, what? Like, I'm not sitting here like this guy should have been tossed and this guy shouldn't. Like, usually the second person's gonna get tossed, right?
Always get caught.
So he walked away and then he went back at him, and I was like, what are you doing? And Sigler, who was texting me as it happened, I was like, I didn't see anything that happened. And he said he spit. You could see his head kind of go like this. I didn't see it until they did it after the break. I thought that was the bigger miss. But again, the Steelers, that Henry Ruggs catch, what the hell were they doing? Like, Minka Fitzpatrick was out in no man's land, and it was just a bad situation. So, but hey, congratulations. If you would have told me at this point the Steelers would have been 1-1, I would have said awesome, because that would have meant that we lost to the Bills and beat the Raiders. But it's flip-flop. So we're still there. We're still home. So I'll take it. I'll take the win over the Bills, and hopefully we see the Raiders down the road. Hopefully they can stay healthy. But we have a ton to talk about from Friday night and even Saturday that I think that are big takeaways here locally, and that's what people want to hear about. And guys, we got to start. Well, let's start with our national day. It is National Pepperoni Pizza Day. This is going to be tough, boys. This is going to be tough. Who has the best pizza?
Wow, the best pizza.
See?
Uptown.
I still haven't had Uptown.
What?
I just had what's the pizza that's in the fridge that Steve brought?
DiGiorno.
West Side?
Oh, Wedgwood.
Wedgwood.
I thought that was interesting.
Listen,
if you guys haven't had St. Anthony's and Struthers, my boy Jimmy Napolitan, he actually came out last year and took over that kitchen, and he's making a name for himself. Let's just put it that way. So if you ever find yourself in the area, try it.
Fan of YSN, by the way, is Jimmy, from what I hear.
Oh yeah,
I'll be the company guy.
Go ahead, buddy.
You'll take one for the team, coach.
Right there, Mary's Pizza. Sign it
Mary's
up.
Pizza, yeah, there you go.
Here's the one.
I haven't had Mary's in a while. What's NL Pizza? North Lima.
North
Pizza.
Lima.
That's good pizza.
That's
good.
she grew up on that. It's like, it's great. I mean, George is an interesting guy because like when the stadium used to be down the street, he used to ride his bicycle with the pizzas on the front and deliver them to the football stadium during games. So, and he writes his own ticket. He's open when he feels like being open, and Mondays and Thursdays, I don't think you're going to get a pizza there because he's closed, and he doesn't care. He's been there like 35 years, and he doesn't care. And it's great pizza.
I'm always so impressed with that.
Deep dish.
Well, is it deep dish? Is it considered deep dish?
The crust is real thick. And
look at this. Drew DeShields for high school Heisman Trophy. Interesting you say that, Jeff, because Drew was up last week for Big Dogs of the Valley, and he didn't win. Blaze X-Line came out and took the trophy for week 2. So I know for a fact that there is a West Branch Warrior that will be on the ballot again this week, but I can tell you it's not Drew. And if you... I got it right here. I got all the answers right here. Stephen Mara is going to be up. So you'll be able to vote for him tonight and on to Saturday evening. So just take that as an exclusive here on the YSN Power Hour. Quinn, where's your go-to for pepperoni pizza?
I don't do pepperoni pizza, surprisingly. But I got to go with Mary's, too. I mean, Mary's is great.
Mary's is deep dish.
Yeah.
Mary's is that considered Chicago style?
I don't know what it would be classified
Yeah,
as.
I think it's kind of a
both.
tweener.
Yeah.
It's not really traditional deep dish Chicago style, but it's definitely not New York either. Would that be Detroit?
No, Cleveland.
Detroit's real weird.
Detroit is real weird.
Detroit, they put the stuff on top. They like have a flatbread and then they put the sauce on top. I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Detroit was famous for any kind of pizza. That's the first I ever heard of
He's
that.
advertising right now.
What's
I can't
that?
remember. One of the national chains is advertising it.
It's it's the big pizza place, the
Yeah.
Hut.
Pizza Hut.
Is
is
it
it
Pizza
Hut?
Hut? Yeah.
Yes, Pizza Hut has the best pizza.
Yeah. They talk about like the Detroit style pizza.
Yeah.
It looks like a pan pizza. That's it. Just looks like a pan pizza.
No, they put the sauce on top. I swear to God.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
But it's like a square pan,
It
isn't it?
is. It's like a rectangle pizza. It's weird. It looks.
But then again, it's right?
Pizza's on there. Yeah, the sauce is on top of everything.
I want to know how a city gets kind of.
Cornersburg's good too.
Yeah, Cornersburg's there. Detroit ain't famous for lions. Says,
Hey, they play tonight. We'll see.
I think it could be an upset.
How
Or-
do the Lions get a Monday night football game?
Pity.
Like, in all seriousness.
Pure pity.
Avalon downtown. I'm also a fan of Avalon downtown.
Avalon's very good. Avalon's like a more of a sweeter sauce, but
Yep.
it's really, really good.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Avalon. Not only just the pizza, but the people that Avalon
Yeah.
downtown. Fantastic people. All right, so happy National Pepperoni Pizza Day, which leads us into the second segment of the show, which is Would You Rather, brought to you by our friends over at Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Visit them today at bairdbrothers.com. Here is an interesting one, boys. Would you rather travel the world for free for a year, wherever you want to go, or have 50 grand to spend however you please? Paul? Oh, he's doing math problems. Well, let's go to Rob.
Okay.
That's actually a really good question. I mean, I find myself wondering what it would be like to go check out see how crazy busy Japan really is and whatever. I mean, I look at it too. You're creating memories. You got a lot of stories, but at the same time, you can go get 50,000 chicken fajitas if you wanted. So, me personally, I'd probably have to take the money.
50 grand? Okay. Coach?
I think I'd take the money.
I'm actually going to go the opposite. I've been really fortunate to be able to do some traveling and do some international traveling, and I'm definitely taking the travel. There's still so many places on my bucket list that I want to get to, go check out. Most recently got to go to Ireland. That was unbelievable. But there's just so many places I want to go and check out.
What's the top place on your bucket list right now?
I think it's Greece right now. I'm real interested in going to Greece. There's a lot of like history there, and I'm a history nerd, and then just the sites. I keep seeing on like TikTok and stuff, like all these different places in Greece. I definitely want to go to Greece.
Quinn, how about you? 50 grand or travel anywhere?
Give me the 50,000, 100%. Give me cash. That's all I care about.
Cash.
Just give me the cash.
Straight
I want to go to the North Pole.
Don't need to
See
travel.
Santa Claus.
We're in the middle of a pandemic. I don't need to travel. Give me the 50,000.
Paul, how about you?
Obviously, take the pandemic out of it. Yeah, I would travel. If I could get to travel for free, all my airfare, my hotels and everything taken care of, and I can go wherever I want in the world, absolutely. I would do that for sure.
But are you traveling with yourself, or are you allowed to bring your family?
That's a good question. What do you want?
Yeah. And is it just one trip, or do I get multiple trips, like,
Anywhere.
For a year.
For free. For a year.
For a year? Oh, then hell yeah. And you're going to spend way more than $50,000 trying to travel anywhere you want in a year. So
yeah, but if you're traveling, they ain't saying they're going to provide room and board either.
I thought that was implied.
Yeah.
I just guessed that was part of the
I thought it was
equation.
Part of
But
traveling. Get a little
reality is I know that for my job I used to travel a ton just across the country. And after a while, boys, I got tired of it. I was like, all right, that's enough. Like if I had to look at another plane, I was ready to throw up. So I would probably just do the 50 grand. I really would. I feel like traveling's great and you get to go places and make memories, like you said, Rob. But at the same time, like having 50 grand to kind of do as you please, throughout the year, I can do that.
Think about it when you go on vacation for a week. I mean, day 6, you're like, all right, let's wrap this up. We're done.
Especially, if you have kids and you're on vacation, is it really vacation? Because then you need a vacation from vacation, as everybody says. So I'd be interested.
I wouldn't know that.
I want to travel with Billy to wax his head in Iceland. Okay. Well, Billy's got a fan out there. See what Kate has to say about that.
Yeah.
Is. There's like an is at the end of that, right?
Oh no, that's the Iceland flag.
Oh, that's the Iceland flag. Okay.
I think I'm guessing that's the Icelandic flag.
Icelandic.
Right. Is it Icelandic or Icelandic?
Icelandic.
Iceland.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was watching Mighty Ducks and they said Icelandic, so maybe that was just their maybe that was their.
Everything I know about Iceland, I learned from Mighty Ducks.
Damn right, man. Iceland is green and Greenland is ice.
Exactly. I was gonna say that's what. Yeah, Greenland is cold and Iceland is not that bad.
Yeah. So then you have ice cream with the Greenland chick or the Iceland with the ice cream chick, or I don't know what she was.
Coincidentally, Iceland is up there on the list.
For you?
Yes.
Just so you can have ice cream with an Iceland chick?
Listen, right about now, I'll take ice cream with any kind of chick.
Be careful with that.
What kind you like, girl?
There you go.
I'm a double scoop. How about you?
Oh, boy. And with that, we're taking it right on to our Friday night recap. Gentlemen, a ton of action on Friday night, but to me, no bigger surprise on YSN than Salem falling to Alliance. I think that shocked everybody around the area. Yeah, in overtime, nonetheless. And it seemed like Salem had that one in their back pocket and just I almost said Iceland. Alliance just kept coming and coming and coming, and were able to finish off the job in overtime. So when you look at that, how surprised 1 to 10, are you that Alliance was able to pull off a huge upset over the Salem Quakers?
Yeah, it was one of the first ones that I saw coming off the field after my game. And, I told people probably like a 7 on the stun scale. pretty shocked, but not completely shocked. Obviously, living in Alliance, I get to see that team quite a bit. Get to hear about them quite a bit. They've got a ton of talent. They're just trying to put it together under Coach Goodman in his first season there. I think he's going to be just fine coming over from North Camp over to get that team, but it's just taken a little longer to gel than they thought it would. But they've got a ton of skill players and a ton of speed on that team in Alliance.
Coach, when you saw that, did you, I guess maybe not particular that game, but when you see a team like that go down, does that utilize a blueprint for success against that team, or is it just happenstance? Anything can happen on any given Friday?
Yeah, so a little look behind the curtain. There's definitely going to be coaches all over the place that are all over Salem's schedule from here on out that are looking to get their hands on that film. I wouldn't be shocked at all if Coach Goodman and his staff have received a ton of huddle requests today of people just wanting to see that film. And I think, from what I've heard of it, and I got to see bits and pieces of it, it sounds like a real turning point in that game came on a double pass that the Lions threw somewhere in the second quarter. They threw it out to a wide receiver, and he threw it to the fullback, I believe. And sometimes those trick plays can be a real spark.
All right, Quinn, what was the biggest surprise for you Friday night?
I think it was the Ursuline Harding game for me.
The game we didn't know that ended.
Yeah, just all about it. I mean, the scoring was unbelievable, and me and Billy were coming home from Champion, and we saw that Harding go in and score, and Billy got all mad as he normally does, and he was like, they lost, and then they had the kick return, and at that point I didn't know what to expect.
Rob, was there any game that surprised you on Friday night that you saw?
To be honest with you, after I was watching all the highlights and everything like that, and per the conversations that we had Friday before the game started, honestly, I really don't have a surprise that's sticking out there. I mean, I'll tell you that the Ursuline and Warren game, watching those highlights, that looked crazy good. Just like we expected. The South Range Poland game, just like everybody else expected, just phenomenal game. I think pretty much the only thing that really surprised me maybe was I think the way Crestview beat Liberty. I thought Liberty would actually win that game. And Crestview just turns around, smacks them right in the mouth.
Yeah. Paul, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, take the Salem game out of there because, looking at our high school pick'em night, like everybody picked Salem. Like that was a loss across the board for everybody. And I mean, coach's game was another one of those games. Like, I mean, we were, pulling for them on that one. So, I mean, I was thinking this would have been one of those weeks that they were going to pull that one out. I like Rob's thing too with Crestview though. I mean, you weren't exactly sure what you're going to get out of Crestview. I mean, we're halfway through the season now, at least the regular season, and they've been there, but like sometimes they show up and you're like, oh, this is the week. And yeah, Liberty being right there, I thought this is going to be a close game, and it just wasn't. And I was a little surprised by that one. I mean, a handful of us took an L on that. So, but overall, it was a great week for our pick'em week. I mean, everybody at least won 20 games. So we had some easy picks last week.
One of the ones that I thought, I think I picked United, if I'm not mistaken, over Latonia. But the one thing that I was really impressed was like the fact that game was so weird. There were ejections, and we're not going to get into that obviously, but United was able to blank Latonia 33-0, and with a freshman quarterback coming in, filling in, and stepping up in a big way. I was so impressed with how Coach Ogilvie handed over the reins to a young man who, obviously deserved an opportunity. And it's going to be interesting because now you could be, you look at United, they're right there in the EOAC. And I think, again, it's going to come down to them and Valley. And if that game is played and, if it isn't, then what do you do? And all of those things. But United surprised me, not only with their offense, but blanking a Latonia team that is known for their offense. I thought it was really impressive. But Salem took the cake for me. I mean, we were sitting there just with our mouths wide open watching that game on the audible call and could not believe what was happening in that overtime. And then, yeah, you're right. Ursuline and Harding, we got caught with our pants down a little bit because I had our spotter walked away because the food was out, and I was like, "Oh, the games are over," and we shut down the audible call, and all of a sudden, here comes Harding. They score. I was like, "Is this a replay?" And B Miller was like, "Oh no, they're still playing." I was like, well, "Why didn't you tell me? Like, why are we
hungry?
Why aren't we still on the air?" So, no, it wasn't B Miller that walked away for food, but it was our spotter, and all of a sudden, like Mike and I are just kind of looking at each other, like, what do we do? So yeah, and then somehow, some way, as Ursuline has done all year, find a way to win that game. So, kudos to Billy Mack, kudos to Dan Reardon. For having his kids believing in him. It was awesome.
And another local team that took a loss on Friday that had to have been a tough one, because they're a young group of kids and we've all been talking about them and hyping up because they've been a young team going forward that we thought maybe could make some noise in the NE8 was Jefferson. That's tough. Like 2 days before you're supposed to play, you pick up a completely different opponent, and now you're trying to do schemes when you're used to doing some walkthroughs on Monday and defense on Tuesday and offense on Wednesday, and then you get shoulder pads and helmets on Thursday and your team feed, and you play a game on Friday. And now all of a sudden on like Wednesday, you're like, oh, hey, guess what? We've got these guys now. So what are we going to get? And that school, like we talked about on Friday as well, that's two schools combined, Sharpsville and who is it? It's Sharpsville and
West Middlesex.
It's two schools combined. So now you've really opened up your doors to a whole new group of athletes. Now you put these two schools together, and that was a tough chore for Jefferson on Friday. So
yeah, and here's the other thing about it, Paul, is the fact that you're playing basically two schools and combined athletes, but it doesn't count. And you got to get that game, and it's your homecoming. Doesn't count. You're playing across lines, across the boundaries of Pennsylvania and Ohio. So while there wasn't much to lose, you're playing good football right now. So any football is good football, and you don't want to give that bye week, so to speak. A lot of coaches hate having to give a bye week because it's just, unless you're really banged up, it doesn't do anything for you. So I too will tip my cap to Jefferson. So that way, they're just getting on the field on short notice is important, and they showed it. And did they suffer an L? Sure, but at the same time, their kids got reps, and right now they're going to need those moving down because they know what's waiting them in the rest of the season for the NE8. Paul, we have had no puns about it. We've said the NE8 is the most physical conference in Northeast Ohio, bar none.
Yeah, but
Jefferson's making these games better too. We're so used to watching Jefferson just get their butts handed to them here and now. Traveling here, we're going there. But I mean, lately these games are getting better. So
sure are.
Yeah, and I guess I wonder this too, because we have seen this, and it's been a topic that we've talked about on the show before. Is that if it wasn't their homecoming, would they have filled that game?
Probably not.
Because we've seen some schools, when the school they're supposed to be playing goes down with COVID, they don't replace that game because now your multipliers by 9 instead of 10. So if that's not their homecoming, do they sit there and go, listen, we got a pretty good record right now. I think they were 3-1 going into that. If I'm not mistaken, I'd have to look. But, if they're 3-1 going into week 5 and it's not homecoming, do they say, listen, maybe we pump the brakes here. We don't fill this game. We get a multiplier by 9 and we get prepared for the following week. But since it's homecoming, you definitely want to have a game for homecoming. And like you said, no harm, no foul. You win, great. You lose, okay, it doesn't matter. That game's not going to be a big deal. You just go on with your day.
Is there anybody we're missing? I've got one team in particular. I did the Macho Man hands right there for everybody. Is there one team that we're overlooking a little bit that happened to play, on a Saturday, that happened to win and continue to light the world on fire? Matthew, anybody you can think of off the top of your head?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a couple teams that fall into that category.
The Bombers went down to Steubenville.
Yeah, and they've got a big one this week with also undefeated Ravenna Southeast.
That's a big game for them.
It is.
Pirates.
And, you know, two communities that are close to each other there. You know, I believe that's a game that's been played a bunch of times. Southeast a little bit bigger of a school, but it should make for a really interesting contest. Wyndham at 4-0, Southeast at 5-0. I'm interested to see the results of that one.
I just want to get it covered.
You and me both.
We got 2 guys left. We got a prayer. That's all we got.
Well, we got Mikey too. Mikey reached out to me and told me he will travel Friday for a football game to let him know where, because his game's on Thursday. This is the week that he gets that Thursday game.
I think we put Mikey in the gunner's chair on Friday. Matt and I were talking to him about it because we don't have anybody in the gunner's chair, if you think about it, for Audible Call. It's a little behind the scenes, YSN.
Yeah, and the curtain. That gunner's chair, it's a hot seat.
It is it's a hot seat, all right.
Buddy.
Because you're in control of what goes out to the people.
Absolutely.
We can figure that out. We are going to do our damnedest to get Wyndham covered. I can tell you that and promise you that.
So I do want to give a little credit where credit's due, and that's Amo mentioned that, you know, Parker Newburn, he said, you know, I told you guys not to sleep on him. So Amo came to my team dinner on Thursday night and hung out with us.
Did you feed him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Attaboy.
He had some pizza with us, and we probably spent 20 minutes talking about how Newburn's going to be a heck of a player.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. Any coach, or wait, how do I want to phrase this? Any quarterback that goes into DJ Ogilvy's system,
yes,
will come out a better quarterback.
For sure.
I don't know how. I think it's fantastic. He is the quarterback whisperer, and he continues to just churn them out like they're all Vinny Testaverde style.
Bob Spate held that title for a long while too, the quarterback whisperer.
Oh my gosh! Don't get me started on Bob Spate, especially after last week. All right, so guys, from that standpoint, we're up on a break, but I want you to think about this as we're in a break. Is there any team that is not getting the love they deserve? Because I feel Wyndham's on that side. I think United's there as well. I really think that South Range is there, and as crazy as it sounds, I feel like people just keep going, okay, and Canfield, of all teams, Canfield, I think, is on that as well. Who do you think is not getting the love that they deserve? Not necessarily maybe in the rankings, but just coverage, and if there's players out there who are being kind of overshadowed by bigger things, who is it and why? We want to know from you. We want to know from this group of panelists. Quinn's in the studio and freezing cold somehow, and we will be back on the YSN Power Hour right after this, and brought to you by our great sponsors right here on the network.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
For a great vehicle and a great experience, come to Boardman Mitsubishi today. As always, our full lineup of Mitsubishi models comes with a standard 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Boardman Mitsubishi, your hometown Mitsubishi dealer since 1999.
Coca's Pizza, always supporting our community and our local athletes. Stop in on game day or score big and have it delivered right to your door. Check out our daily specials at cocaspizza.com. That's Coca's Pizza, we serve it hot.
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
And welcome back, boys. It is the Monday edition of the YSN Power Hour. We're all here. We're all healthy and all ready. And we got some G-Knit coming in from it. And it is Quinn better bring his A game this week. That Canfield team has put up 35 points in the first half of the last 3 games. Reading is tough. Right, Jeff? Let's Quinn, you feel like the A game's going to be there on Friday?
Sure. Always is. Get to hang out with Coach Niddle. Can't wait.
G-Knit, our guy. Is Canfield getting enough love? In your opinion, Quinn?
I mean, yes and no. Like, I mean, they always get coverage because it's Canfield.
Right.
It's one of those schools that'll always get it.
Vince Butler does a great job of covering them.
But, I mean, the teams that they've beaten are pretty good teams. And their only loss came to an undefeated Dover team so far. So, no, they're not getting coverage in regards to who they've beaten, but they still get the coverage because it's Canfield, if that makes sense.
I mean, it does. Canfield to me, they deserve the coverage because
They don't
just
get
like
the
Coach
coverage for who they beat.
Coach Niddle said, 35 points in the first half, the last 3. I mean, this is a dangerous offense. Did I see Brock Lowry throw 5 tutties or was contributed to 5 touchdowns?
Something like that, yeah.
Wow.
He had some say in every point scored.
Unbelievable. Eric chiming in says the LeBray Vikings getting no love.
Yeah, Billy jumped in there right there. Billy's that's their guy right there. So Billy took care of them for sure.
Okay, now he agrees with Billy a little bit.
Yeah.
And now, Quinn, Billy's got words for you. You're leaving with Billy.
I'm not leaving. It's because he went to Eric Church. So
yeah, he left. He tried to fill it with Betos.
Bailed on me.
Betos says he's got to work. Jeff's been bailing on a lot of people, like, not eating their food. He's going to leave me hanging on Sunday. So now he's bailing on Friday. Yeah, Jeff's just been scumbag central lately. So, but we got that game covered now. We got it covered. Quinn's going to go do Canfield. Things work out, people. When Magic Munson takes over, it's working.
38 minutes into the show, and here comes Michael Page.
It's because Billy's not on.
I'm stunned that he referenced the Warriors and not the other team. That is all. So that's all he's going to get today. So there it is, Paige. That's your one line. That's all you're going to get credit for.
On screen.
Brookfield deserves more hype coverage. They should have beat Springfield. They're a team that could make some noise, says Jeff Howard. Okay, respect for that.
Totally agree with that.
I actually agree with Jeff on that. Brookfield is a team that could really do some things this year. They've been pressed.
They smacked the crap out of Camel.
Jeff ate at our house on Saturday. It's a big day for the Kate Kelly regime.
Yeah, he finally ate there instead of turning down her subs and meatballs. And Jeff.
South Range should be getting more love, sir. I know he just won the Big Dog Award, but X-Line and DeShields, both of these young men are special. They need more love, and one more is Coach. What he's doing in Sebring. There you go, Coach.
Yeah, much appreciated. We just got to win a ball game here.
You got one. Listen, I know two coaches in particular this week that would love to be in your seat right now.
No, I'm with you, but listen. I'm looking for a sponsorship from a podiatrist right now because we got to quit shooting ourselves in the foot.
Is that who you go to if you shoot yourself in the foot as a podiatrist?
I don't know.
Hopefully the emergency room first.
Got to have that insurance, baby.
I guess it depends on what caliber the bullet is. I'm not going to the hospital if I shoot myself in the foot with a .22.
Did you say proctologist, Rob?
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
I love it. I love it. All right, I'm in agreement with that. I think Canfield is a team that needs a little bit more love, just kind of breaking them down a little bit more. I think after they had that loss, everybody kind of lost, I don't know, their love for them. Does that make sense? I mean, we do that a lot. Whenever a team loses, all of a sudden they're off the radar. We don't want anything to do with them. But they're still like Wyndham, 4-0. I feel like. Are they just one of those teams that are so far out there in the middle of nowhere that
Portage County? Yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah, they're out there. You know, Garrettsville's out there. Like there are a couple schools that this like they're I don't want to say they're hidden away, but you know when our local stations don't cover them because they're out there. And, you know, and people don't know a lot about them. It is tough for them. And like Coach was saying earlier, they got Southeast. I just was looking, you know, as we're talking, I'm looking to see where teams and stuff are with in the rankings. I mean, Southeast is a Division 5 Region 17 school, and they're up there with, you know, Garrettsville and South Range and Kirtland and all those. So, I mean, this is going to be one hell of a matchup for Wyndham this week. I mean, they got to bring it, you know, they're going to be at home. And this is D7 taking on D5.
I'm going to agree with Suzanne right here. Poland is a team that showed me something on Friday. They were never out of it. They could have just tucked their tail between their legs and walked it back in that locker room. That Jack Fulton pass on 4th and 37, that Hail Mary in the end zone, unbelievable. Because that could have been the end, and Poland stayed in it. You know,
they impressed me. I like you said, they were down by 2 touchdowns, and you know, Anthony and I sat there on that call, and we kept saying that the big thing was going to be, and it was what we talked about earlier in the week. If you could take one thing away from one of these teams, and it was going to be South Range's offense. If you could take their offense out of the game, you had a shot. Unfortunately, they couldn't. So South Range just kept scoring. But Poland to come back, the onside kick that they got to was impressive. And then they scored, and I was telling Anthony, and we both were talking about it, I'm like, momentum shifted. Momentum shifted big time. They scored, get the onside kick, they scored again to tie it. Mo was on their side. Like, everything was there for them to go because the second half, except for, like, the last 2 minutes of the game, Poland did not get stopped. When they had the ball, they scored in the second half every single time. And I was like, that's something that, you know, Coach Yeagley and them are going to look at that film and they're not going to be happy about. And they're going to say, guys, we didn't get them off the field one time in the second half until late in the game when it was like, you know, listen, they had to go for a 4th and something on that because they need the score. And I was like, this is something they're going to have to shore up because come the end of the season, when you get, you know, another team that can run the ball very, very well that we all know about, you got to stop that. So
I'm interested in this one. It actually Gary took away my my spark today because we were going to use this. Brock Lowry getting an offer from Iowa State. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. And interestingly enough, my boy Jim Ballard, the former quarterback of Mount Union, played in the pros for a little bit with the Buffalo Bills, and I know he tried out with the Dolphins. Works with Brock Lowry. He breaks down tape. So we're working on doing some stuff with him, breaking down tape and showing people what they see. You know, when one of the best QBs in our area talks to quarterbacks in our area, what does he see and how can these quarterbacks get better? So congratulations to Brock Lowry. I know how hard he works to get to be the kind of quarterback he is today. And still, again, one of those guys that doesn't get near enough love around this area, even if he has the Cardinal on his helmet. It's incredible to me.
Yeah. And there's a Youngstown connection at Iowa State over there. I mean, it's on a defensive side, but still, yeah. Coach John Haycock's still there, you know, and runs a great defense for them too.
The Matt Campbell connection there, being the head coach and being a Mount Union guy. So all kinds of local ties.
Oh, boy. We must have done something wrong, boys. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Billy has arrived.
Yeah, my computer's finally done setting up.
Hubbard has beat some good teams, but not getting the love they deserve in the rankings. Do you agree with that stuff?
I was actually kind of going to go into that when you said team and player. I'll start with the team first. I don't really hear a ton about Boardman. They're sitting at 4-1. They're winning. I think they only placed the close game. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say it was Cheney. Everybody else they're doing a pretty good number on, but they have. I mean, you talk about a schedule. They have Benedictine, Fitch, who else? Ursuline and Canfield 4 weeks in a row. So we're going to get to see how good that team is. And I mean, I just don't hear a ton about them, but that is a very good football team over there in Boardman.
Yeah, are they surprising people? Like, are people surprised to see Boardman do well, or has Boardman had that traditional, constantly winning and everything that people are just expecting them to go 8-2, 7-3, 9-1? Great point, Rob. Very great. Very
well,
good
there
point.
for a while there, but the player that I was going to talk about is TC Caffey, and I'll tell you what, Hubbard is not just TC Caffey. I mean, they got Ben Wilcox. The quarterback threw 3 passes and one of them was for a touchdown. Their defense is very good, but the player that you would think you would hear more of, we all know how good this kid is. But if you think about it, it's not like everybody's like, it's not like there's a huge rumble going on. And I was actually kind of surprised. We're talking about one of the best running backs in the country that, he has his offer to YSU if he wants it. Well, now, I talked to him before the game, he now has an offer with Toledo. And you're thinking, like, when you watch this kid, you don't understand how impressive he is. Because while you're watching the game, it's almost like it's supposed to happen, so you're not expecting anything different. You're not surprised. But all of a sudden, you read all out those stats. This kid ran on 33 carries for like 249 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, then when you look at him, I walked up to him and I couldn't believe his physique. I mean, his body literally bust through his pads. And, I'm thinking myself, he's already, I think he has 1,328 yards after 5 weeks. I mean, by the end of the season, I got to hear about way more D1 offers for this kid.
Yeah, I think we're all with you on that. It's hard to believe.
I think he deserves a lot of credit, but the unsung hero there right now is that offensive line. DJ, you and I were talking about earlier. But those guys deserve a ton of credit. I know there's a lot of running backs that would love to be able to run behind those guys.
Oh, yeah. They were good. And I'll tell you what, they played phenomenal. And then not even their offensive line, their defensive line, Struthers would go to run the ball. And it almost looked like, I think I even said it, it looked like Struthers was playing without a center, right, and left guard. Because it doesn't matter what they did. Automatically, you have 3 or 4 people in the backfield in a matter of a second. So those lines for Hubbard, that's going to be the reason they go as far as they go in the playoffs.
And to comment on Suzanne's comment there, she's like, oh, they beat some good teams but not getting loved in the rankings. The unfortunate thing for them is the teams that they're beating, like, they're not winning games after they beat them,
right?
And so that's what hurts. I mean, Norwayne is the only team that they've played that has a winning record. I mean, Mooney's 0-5, Shaw's 2-3, Poland 2-3, Struthers 2-3. So the teams that they've had to play, they just haven't won after they've played them, and so they're not getting that love. I mean, because they're sitting, when you're looking at this, they're sitting 7 in the rankings right now in Division 3, and the only team with a loss ahead of them, Steubenville. I mean, and everybody knows. I mean, Steubenville's a monster. So, but everybody else above them is undefeated. So it's not like there's a bunch of garbage teams ahead of them. I mean, Streetsboro, Dover, Chardon, Kenston. I mean, it's a gauntlet that they're in as well. So listen, them being where they need to be right now, they need the teams that they've beat to win some games.
And really interesting point there, Paul. And the point that I want to make to our viewers is, it's fun to look at things like Joe Idol and see where people are ranked currently, but it's a really strange year this year, just like it was last year, where games are getting canceled and all kinds of things. So it's really important this year, as opposed to other years, to pay attention to what teams' multipliers are, because it's going to make a difference at the end of the day. And if you're a 4-0 or a 5-0 team, you might actually get a little more love based on the fact that you're 1 game shy and still undefeated than you would if you maybe had the full slate of games and had a loss in there.
Good take. Billy, one team that you don't think is getting enough love, whether it's us or elsewhere, who's that team?
I really think we do a great job of, kind of divvying out love to teams. I think everybody's right where they need to be. And if you're not getting love, you're going to get some as long as you take care of business coming up. You know, you talk about like Boardman not getting enough love. I mean, there's plenty of games in front of you to collect that love. You go out there, you beat Ursuline, you go out there, you beat Fitch, you're going to get some love. You know, so if you're a team that you're not, hey, we're not getting enough love, well, you're going to have an opportunity to earn some love.
How about Polar Knights?
I want to
Every
know
time
who
they
Polar
come on,
Knights is.
every time they come on, he talks about, or she talks about, the evolution of beards.
And where's that one from? What do you guys say? That's a Twitch?
It's Twitch.
Okay.
I mean, I never noticed it, but Jesus, are they right? Sweet Jesus, are they right?
Sweet Jesus, they are right.
Listen, and when Moses was here, it was even more, established.
Look what you did.
Bring
Rob.
that back, man. Come on.
I will.
Look what you did, Rob. You
They literally
compared
call
him
me
to Moses.
Redbeard. My nickname is literally Redbeard now. Redbeard. I'm like,
know.
what do I do? Hang out back here? I'm like, I'm not trying to show these off. I want to keep my beard right here, so my red's going to stick out further. So have at it.
It's just another ginger to the show. It's okay.
Oh boy. That's
Ewan, what'd you call him the other day? He called him Butterbean. Ewan Butterbean up there. The ginger's on the show.
Butterbean's got a mean right hook though. Tell you something.
Ginger's for life, man. Ginger's for life. I love you, bro.
Oh my God. What did we just do? We just created the NWO on our show. That's what we
There's a
did.
new bromance.
The GWO.
Ginger World Order. Their shirts have to be red, right?
He'll be your spokesman. He'll be your microphone.
Oh my
I
gosh.
feel my soul leaving my body as we speak.
They just spray paint a shamrock on people. Oh boy. All right, well that's going to wrap up the big part of the show, the meat, and now we get to the dessert, which is, of course, gentlemen and ladies, you know what time it is. It's the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark, presented by our friends over at Joe Dickey. Anything commercial, anything residential, anything electrical, you need to go over to DickeyElectric.com and tell them, dude, I'm having a tough time with words today. It is a bad Monday for words. But we'll get there. Heartland's really, really glad I'm coming tonight. I might be able to push out a couple words by the time the match is over when they play Grand Valley. All right, what is your spark? Let's start with, the Raider leader, cheerleader, whatever himself. It is Paul Munson.
Yeah, obviously my positive spark is that, the Raiders taking care of one of the two local teams that they have to play. The other one comes in December, so we'll see what happens there. But, yeah, anytime that the Raiders can pull off a victory against either the Steelers or the Browns, I get some bragging rights around here. But my negative spark happened over the weekend, and it bugs the crap out of me because I do a job, and I do many jobs, obviously, but one of the jobs I've been doing for over 12 years is on the weekends playing music. And I love when people think that they know better than I do on what kind of music needs to be played. And listen, I've been doing it for a long time. I know what I'm doing. You got problems, come up and ask me to play something different. I'll see if it goes well. But when your dance floor is empty and nobody's dancing, that's on you. Not on me, because play Freebird, because I'm doing the best I can, knowing what works. And when you think it's better, I'm going to show you your way's not better.
And how do they book the Sandman Entertainment after that awesome rant?
Yeah. Well, listen, you booked me because other people have told you he does really well. We enjoyed his music. And when you don't enjoy the music that everybody else enjoys, then I guess we might have.
Hey, I'll say I've seen Paul DJ, and Paul's lit.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it.
I don't even know if that's a good thing or a bad thing to be.
It's a good thing.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Too old.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Paul's very good at what he does.
There it is. There it is.
Words I can understand. All right. Paul, we all know you do a great job, man. We all know you do a great job. And seriously, if you want to book him,
another DJ would understand that as well. Like, listen, you know what works.
Yep.
I was a DJ. I still am a DJ, technically. Why are you going to hold me out?
Not your name.
At the end of the day, play the wobble and you'll be good to go.
True.
Line dances can't go wrong.
All right, Rob.
All right, so I'm going to go like Paul did. I'm going to do a positive, but then I'm going to finish with a negative. So, positive, if you watch Derrick Henry play football, my God, what a treat. If you watch Tom Brady play football, it's just unbelievably fun to watch these guys go at it. And if you watch the highlights for Derrick Henry, I mean, just the stiff arms, somebody that big running that fast, the people literally bouncing off of him. I am no Tennessee Titan fan, but I love watching him play football. Negative, littering. Listen, people. Parents, I was driving by Circle K the other night, about 8 kids hanging out. I drove by later on, nothing but it looked like a trash can was empty. Please, for the love of God, take pride in your city and your surroundings. Parents, educate your kids and let them know that it is so trash to just toss trash wherever you want. And this goes out, if you're a consistent litter bug, I just pray to God, I'm going to say a prayer for you tonight that your favorite food is steak and lobster. You go to the doctor's on Thursday, he tells you that if you keep eating steak and lobster, you got to wear a diaper for the rest of your life. Get it together and clean your cities up. For the love of God, please.
Well played, sir. Well played. Billy.
Wear a diaper.
Couple things, all negative. First off, the list is getting huge over here. Okay, I mean, it's like a scroll that I'm pinning on a wall right now. Of hey, Ty Bartell, keep picking against Ursuline. Okay, just don't pick Ursuline the rest of the year. All right, you're number 1 on the list. Okay, man. Second thing, I seen a stat yesterday that actually it's a positive for me, but a negative for everybody else, especially you dumb Browns fans. And if you saw that video yesterday of 2 idiot Browns fans fighting, that's the reason why I stay at home and watch Browns games, because you guys are the worst fans of all time. Second thing with the Browns is I've seen a stat that says Baker Mayfield is the worst rated quarterback under pressure anytime somebody blitzes or 3rd and 8 or longer. Blows my mind. I've been right about Baker all along. It's about time for you guys to apologize to me. I'll accept the apologies later. Third thing, my mother's out. She's sick. She's in the hospital. She's got COVID. So, I'm having just a crummy day.
Prayers up for you, buddy. We're all
Hopefully she gets
thinking
better
about
quick.
you. Yep, we're all
even after that Bronx crap. I hope your mom gets better quick.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, we're all rooting.
But
for you.
if you talk about that fight, did you see that now? Let me say something. If that fight stayed 1-on-1, if it stays 1-on-1, okay, it's just a crappy Browns fight. That dude came out of nowhere like Pastor, I'm going to save everybody, and made it 10 times worse. Just let him finish the fight.
It just blows my mind. Browns fans can't even stick together in their own. Why are you fighting? If you were fighting the opponent's fan, okay, sort of, kind of understand it, not really, but still, they're just so dumb they fight each other.
I don't know.
I was really interested in that because I didn't see it until today, but I heard all about the Steelers fan that had to change his pants in the middle of the game, and then all of a sudden I saw the fight, and I thought to myself, well, at that point, I'd rather have someone that was cheering so hard or was so drunk that they crap themselves over someone that wants to fight me in the parking lot after we won.
I'm gonna be fair. I don't. That's a would you rather right there in itself.
Wasn't it? It was last week. I think they had a video of the 2 Steelers fans fighting in the stands.
Oh no, that was in the exhibition. Where it was the girl and the one guy?
This was 2 guys. 2 guys were, fisted up.
Recently?
Like a week or 2 ago. They were ready to go. I think it was last week's game. They're like Steelers fans fighting in the stands. And I'm like, what are we doing? You're at a game supporting your team. And fight the other fans if you're going to fight somebody. Go fight.
No, don't fight anybody. Come on, Paul. What are you doing here?
Well, the thing is, keep in mind, a lot of those guys that are getting drunk, they don't understand. It's not just about you guys. Do you understand, and I've been in my share of bar fights, but do you understand, I don't try to do that at football games. You understand how many people and kids you're scaring when you do that? You talk about ignorant, selfish. Those people are there to watch a football game, not watch you pretend like you're in the MMA, which you couldn't even survive in 30 seconds if you tried anyways.
I would never take my kids to a Browns game or an NFL game for that matter. For people like that.
I got a new beef for tomorrow. It happened yesterday. I'll bring it up tomorrow. A new Spark.
Oh.
Spark. Sorry.
God.
It's tough. It's tough.
It is. We did it for how many years?
A year.
Single. One.
How long do you think we've been doing this, Paul?
I don't know.
too long.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Take one more, Paul.
No, all right. Yeah, Billy had like 5 against the Browns, so what the hell. So yesterday we go out to eat after Avery's game. Avery had their little Bantam, little Raider game that they played at Boardman. And by the way, Boardman, a 6th grader, they got a kid coming up. Holy crap. 6'3", 245 pounds. He's in 6th grade. Yes. This kid was standing there, and I'm looking up at him, and I'm like, he's in 6th grade. I'm like, this kid is a monster. So we leave and we go to eat, and we go to an establishment not far from our home, and we sit down, and there's like 4 or 5 people sitting around the bar, and like they're like just telling obscene stories. The girl won't like stop saying F words and talking about like, if you want to get with her, you got to make your bed, and like all like just being loud. And thankfully the bartender leaned over and she goes, will you guys shut up? She goes, there's people with kids in here. And the one guy's like, who's got kids in the bar? And she's like, this is a restaurant as well, and there's 2 families in here that have kids in here. Like, I was like, yeah, like, hello. I mean,
so trashy.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, I understand this. You can go there. It's a bar. You can have some drinks. But at the same time, like, if it's a bar and you don't get food, it's just a bar, you go in there and sit down. I get it. You should have it. But it's a restaurant that also has drinks there because of football games and stuff. And, like, you're just, like, going.
As inappropriate as I am, swearing in front of kids like that drives me insane.
Well, here's the thing. I was educated on the 10 p.m. rule. Which is something that I knew a little bit about, but didn't really know. If it's beyond 10 p.m. and your kids are out or watching something,
fair game.
It's on, right?
Absolutely.
It's on. But if it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 o'clock in the you do have to watch what you say. You really do. Because kids can find anything on the internet, on television. And listen, again, I'm with Rob. Like, language, I can handle it to a point because you can always say, those are words we don't say. There's always a better choice. However, if it's 4 o'clock and they're just being over and over and over and over and over and just pushing that envelope to see how far or who's listening, point
There's
taken.
a difference.
An adult should understand their surroundings. Any adult should understand their surroundings.
And if they don't, take them to a Cleveland Browns game.
Basically.
Quinn, what is your spark?
It's a positive spark. Yesterday, Eric Bailey and I got to coach 2 teams in fall league. So we were able to get the girls back on the court and playing some basketball. And there was a couple other area teams going for us. So it was just kind of cool seeing all the kids playing basketball again.
It's football season. Yeah, I'm going with the positive spark today. And, I get very involved in football during football season. Spent 10 hours yesterday relining and painting the field. And my positive spark is just the outpouring of support for our program. I think at one point I counted there were like 9 or 10 people on the field helping out. Fixing a couple of mistakes and things that just needed to be taken care of. And it turned out fantastic. So, a ton of love and appreciation to all the people that came out and helped and supported.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Obviously, one of those is Jeff. Oh, wait. No, Jeff wasn't.
No, he didn't show up. Never mind.
I want to throw out negative spark was what happened Friday and then into Saturday. And we're not even going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the positive spark of people coming back and understanding situations and saying, listen, I get it. I love what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing. I want to be a part of what you're doing, and I will do whatever it takes to be a part of it. That, my friends, is as good of a spark as you can get, because when you know that you can rely on people to maybe just change it just a little bit, just tune it up just a little bit, then you know you got something special. And I just appreciate all of our guys and all of our girls that make this show and everything we do on this network so special, even if they have to accommodate a fan or two along the way. So thank you And listen, we appreciate the advice. We appreciate the input along the way. It just makes us better. We're not ones that are going to get butthurt over things that happen to us. We will adjust and we will correct and we will win. So thank you for making us better this weekend, and we will be better moving forward each and every day. So that is my positive spark, brought to you by Joe Dickey Electric. Visit them today at dickieelectric.com.
We need more people, I guess, to watch the show. Yeah.
Ginger Power.
Yeah, I said I guess we need some more people to watch the show and listen to Rob's PSAs. People holding doors and not getting a thank you.
That's all I'm saying.
Man.
And the sad thing is I know it will happen. They'll be like, hey, held that door for you, people. Let's go.
I'll try to be nice, but I'll be like, whoa. Come on, let's go. Do it again.
Run it back.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we will see you tomorrow on a Tuesday edition of the Ysn Power Hour. We'll bring some news stories. The toughest show of the week for me because there's not a whole lot to talk about. So maybe some news will break. And maybe Brock Lowry will get another offer from someone other than Iowa State. Maybe Ohio State.
Or Aaron Rodgers will throw for 6 touchdowns tonight.
Let's not talk about him.
He's out there stealing catalytic converters.
He does. He looks like a committed he looks like a felon right now.
He looks like a dude that would play hacky sack for about 6 hours. That's what he looks like. So
what's wrong with that?
Well, you go ahead, buddy.
Nothing.
That'll do it. Wave the damn banner.